This video is called The Perfect Space Game, and it's by Scott Gust. We're going to take a look at this.
Something draws us to the cosmos, to outer space, whether it be NASA's James Webb Telescope. Unless you believe that's a conspiracy theory and all lies, like the lunar landing, but I digress. So we turn to video games to experience the infinite cosmos. Because let's face it, we're not all Elon Musk. We can't just build our own spaceships. So we turn to it, and where do we look? We look and we see No Man's Sky.
I like this guy's voice.
Quadrillions of billions of planets and solar systems, and we just want to go. So we turn it on, and we overlook the cartoony BS, art style of it all, and we land, and for the first few hours, we are blown away by the procedural generation and this enormous variety. And then we realize it's all just an illusion. All the planets, all the quintillions of planets look exactly the same once you've seen a couple of dozen of them. So
really, I've never played this. That kind of sucks.
Days, and we move on. We want more. So we look to Elite Dangerous, one of the games with the most, original names in history. And we jump into it, and we're like, okay, the graphics are a little better. Not photorealistic or anything, but they're better than
it does look good.
The combat is excellent.
Not
the
like
economy's okay.
state of the art, but it looks
it's not
good.
A real, truly simulated economy, but hey, sure beats No Man's Sky. But then we quickly realize we can't get up and take a look at our ships. We can't interact with our ships. Well, what's the point in having these big fancy ships? What's the point in doing the whole, I hate the word, grind? What's the point in grinding for days or weeks to buy a super fancy ship that you can't even get up and take a look at or interact with? And then we realize all the planets are just dead rocks with little thin atmospheres, and there's nothing. Oh, forget this. So we turn off Elite Dangerous. We look to the next space game. Searching for the perfect space game that we deserve, as all first worlders believe. And we come across X Universe, X4, let's say.
I heard the X4 series is really good, but it's just like if you're playing Star Citizen or Elite Dangerous, that it is a complete opposite of those types of games.
One of the most realistically simulated economies on planet Earth for gamers.
Okay. So it's like SimCity in space.
We
is
jump
what
in
he's
and
saying.
we're blown away by the economy simulation. We're so overwhelmed in the best of ways. We look out and we find that we can walk around in our ships, well, at least in a limited way.
Okay.
We can fly anything. We can control anything. It's like it's like the god of all space games. The graphics are okay. You can get by, because there's so much complexity to the game. You can overlook the okay graphics. And we look to the worlds in the game and we say, wow. And then we realize we can't descend on the world. We can't explore the worlds. The worlds are just backdrops. We have the economy.
Okay.
We have the fact that we can fly anything. The graphics are okay, but we can't visit the damn worlds. I didn't mean to say a curse word. I meant damn as in holding up water.
So you can't visit any of the planets.
We tire of the X4 universe.
Okay.
We can make compromises. We can drop some of the economy. A lot of the economy. We can drop, I don't know, we compromise and we say, you know what? I want photorealism. I want to be able to land on a planet, explore it, go wherever I want, walk around in my ship. So we turn to Star Citizen.
There we go.
And we're happy. We can't believe the complexity. It's not just a space game. It's a space simulator.
Yeah.
We can walk around our ships.
Yeah.
With our ships. We can leave our ships in EVA. We can descend on the planet any point we want.
Except EVA is super janky lately. Like, how many times have you guys gotten out of your ship and you're just doing this? Like, it makes no sense, but
there's nothing to do, but hey, we can do it.
I will say I'm starting to fall into the camp, like with Marcus. Star Citizen is a mile wide and an inch deep, and unless you have a group of friends that you play with or you're forcing player interaction, it can kind of get mundane very quickly. And that it shouldn't fall on us players to create gameplay. Like, like I said, I play with a group of friends, Marcus, Canop, Star-Lord, Whitehawk, and a few others on a pretty regular basis, but it shouldn't fall on us to have to make gameplay for Star Citizen. There should be, and I'm not putting it all on CIG's shoulders, but CIG should allow, I've said this in the past, we should have more tools in the toolbox, whether it's more open events, and I don't mean Xenothreat, I don't mean Jumptown, I don't mean things like that, but like little events that pop up here and there across the verse. I think it was River Grit had come up with a really cool idea. Good morning, Tanner. Good morning. How are you? River Grit had come up with a really cool idea where, like, the Crusader puts out a bulletin saying that Ninetales is coming through the Crusader area with stolen Quantanium, and if you stop the ship, you get to recover a percentage of the Quantanium. Things like that. That would be cool. But right now we don't have things like that, and I don't know if it comes down to persistent entity streaming or if it comes down to server meshing or what the case may be. But we need I don't want to say just more missions, but more variables to the missions. There's so many that are just straight A to B and then you get paid. There should be missions that it's A to B to C to D, and then you get paid, and along the way different things happen that force you to go to the B point or the D point or whatever. But yeah, it's the missions, they do get a little stale after a while. For me, they don't stay very stale because, unfortunately, I hate bringing it up, but work schedule and whatnot, it's I don't get to play as often as I like. So, after, 4 or 5 days of not playing, when I jump back in, it's I don't want to say fresh, but it's not as, I don't want to say boring, but it's not as, I guess it's not as boring. Mangies, yes, happy 4th of July. Happy birthday to the U.S. Freedom! America! Yeah, I got work tonight, but it's holiday pay, so it's double time and a half, and it's Tuesdays are short nights in the summertime, so I should hopefully be out of there around like 11:30, 12 o'clock-ish, I'm hoping. So maybe stay tuned for a late stream tonight. I'm not going to promise. I'm just saying maybe.
Looks visually striking. It's beautiful. But quickly we realize
audible porn.
It's an empty alpha husk of a game. There's no depth whatsoever.
It's not. Okay, it's
PvP.
empty. There is PvP.
Like me, you don't give a damn about PvP. You just want
there is nothing to explore.
You want to be immersed in outer space and these worlds. So we look to the next game. Oh, plus, don't even get me started on the development cycle. After 10 years, we live and die waiting for some games to be finished.
This is true of not just Star Citizen, but a lot of games.
With the release of the perfect space game, Starfield.
Oh, that's not going to be perfect.
We see Starfield and the promise of Bethesda, and we know damn well that Bethesda promises are 100% accurate. There's never any bugs or anything like that. Perfect space game Starfield coming in September. We watch the interviews of Todd Howard and we see, wait, what did he just say? Landing on and taking off from planets are cutscenes? But we don't want cutscenes.
I also heard that you don't even get to explore the whole planet in Starfield. Like, you only get to explore like a bubble around your ship, and it's like, I don't know how big it is. They didn't give specifics, but they it's just a bubble around your ship that you get to explore. You don't get to go very far. Thrustmaster T1600M, throttle stopped working in SC, so this is a good distraction as I work on it. Thank you. I'm glad I can be an entertaining distraction for you. If If all I can do is slightly entertain somebody, I've done my job.
We want to land on planets. We want to take off manually, fly our ship in atmosphere. And what's that Todd Howard said? Exploration is different in Starfield.
It's the
You only explore regions around your ship where you land.
Oh,
Sounds
so he
an
said,
awful
okay.
lot like limited maps.
Yeah, so, and when they say, oh, exploration is done totally differently in Starfield, it's done pretty much the same as any other exploration mechanic I've seen in a lot of games that have come out in the last 4 or 5 years, where you look at an object, you push a button, and it, makes a thrilling, a trilling sound, and a little thing fills up, and then it tells you what it is. I don't think it's going to be very much different than anything else. As a matter of fact, it looked very similar to, and I haven't played it, but I've seen gameplay of No Man's Sky's exploration thingamabob. Is it a bad thing to copy? No, it's not. I mean, copying is the most flattering form of praise, I guess.
Sounds like you can't take off across the horizon on your
No.
feet and explore the whole world. Only sections around your ship.
Yep, which is why there's going to be no mounts, no vehicles.
No land vehicles, no vehicles to traverse.
No.
The planets seem to support the theory that we're going to have limited maps around our ship. Well, that's no fun.
And
We'll have all the
only,
immersion
I
of
think
a
they
Bethesda
said
game, of
10 to
Skyrim
20%
in space. We'll have
are going to have
NPCs that don't
intelligent
stand on
life. The rest
tables.
is
We'll
just going to
have
be
fully interactive
fauna,
cities.
native animals.
It's a true RPG.
So it'll be
Wonderful,
interesting.
wonderful, wonderful.
It's going to be
But
interesting. I'm still going
it
to
has
play it, give it a
limitations.
shot.
It is not the perfect space game.
No. I
So
don't think
I
we have
beg
the
you
perfect space
to
game.
consider, do we consider, I can't even speak because I'm so stupefied by what we have in our space game arsenal. I'm not losing my mind. Do we deserve a perfect space game? Hell no. We don't deserve anything.
No.
We're just worthless gamers. So let's just
We're money
enjoy
bags.
the arsenal of space games that we have and dream of a future where our expectations are lowered so that we might enjoy the genre.
Lowered
desire.
expectations. That was, let me go back. That was Scott Gust. I liked that video. It was funny. And it did point out a couple of things that we have to kind of keep in the back of our minds. Not every space game is going to be perfect. Not every space game is going to have the things that we want in it. And we're going to have to make compromises and find what we can enjoyable out of those games, because right now the space genre is very limited in what we get to do, and it kind of sucks. It really does kind of suck. He pointed out, No Man's Sky is very very cartoonish. The planets are all pretty much the same after you visit a dozen or two of them. The target GUI does not play well with Star Citizen. No. No Man's Sky, what did I say? Cartoonish. The planets are all the same, and it gets pretty boring pretty quickly. He brought up Elite Dangerous. Oh, and you can't move around your own ship. Elite Dangerous, same thing. You can't move around your own ship. The economy's a little bit better. The fighting is cooler. The graphics are better, but very dated. But there's not really an economy. There's not really a whole lot going on in there anymore these days. He brought up X4, where it was a complete, God tier level economic simulation, but then the planets you can't even go to, but you can walk around some of your ships to a limited capacity. He brought up Star Citizen, and all of us here are Star Citizen players. We know a lot of the shortcomings of Star Citizen, so I won't go over all of those. And then he brought up Starfield and some of its shortcomings, like it's a cutscene to land on a planet. You only get to explore a small area around your ship, et cetera, et cetera. So I think we have to, when it comes to space games, as I said before, we have to take what we can and then compromise with it You know, some of these games may not be right when they come out worth your $70. Some of these games may not be exactly what you're looking for. I was kind of surprised he did not bring up Spaceborne 2. That game does look very interesting. That's a single guy has made that game. It's still in early access, but you know, hopefully maybe soon it'll be a full release game. I would really like to check that game out and see what it's all about eventually.